What's up, y'all? I'm going to pick up my girlfriend and we're gonna go shopping, like a little shopping trip. I'm actually leaving LA tomorrow for a week to go on a work trip. So we're just gonna go do some shopping. Okay, you decided to wait until the light turned green to walk. I figured, you know, since we're engaging in some good old-fashioned consumerism, what better time to talk about the mods I've done to the car and to kind of give you guys a quick overview of like everything I've done, or at least the notable things that I've done, like how much I've spent on the car and kind of like how useful I think the mods are. So I've had this car for like 5 or 6 weeks now, and I've already modded it a good amount. In total, I've probably spent like 2 grand on mods, but the way I rationalize that is I spent like 4 or 5 grand less on the club trim, so I have a bit of wiggle room to kind of mod out this GT trim to how I want it. So I've done like a couple mods. I won't mention kind of like the mods that I think aren't super interesting. For each mod, I'm gonna basically give you an overview of like what it is, the problem it solves, and how good of a job I think it does at solving that problem, and how worth it is for the money and time that I kind of spent on it. First mod that I want to talk about, and I'll probably show pictures of this on screen, are my wheels. These don't really change anything about the driving experience of the car. It's more just kind of like for every time you get out of the car and you kind of look back, you see the wheels and you're just like, oh damn, that shit looks nice, you know? So it kind of like increases your enjoyment outside of the car. Personally, I just hated how the stock GT trim wheels looked. Everyone I've asked just thinks they look fucking terrible. I just think just something about like the black gloss with like the silver pinstripe look is just fucking disgusting.
Disgusting shit.
And I feel like these ND Miatas already have like a pretty big wheel gap, and something about that design of the stock wheel just makes the wheel gap look like even bigger. The rims that I have are the Advanti Racing Storm S1 wheels. They are just matte black, very simple 10-spoke design, and I think they complement kind of like the looks of the car much better. I think I got them on sale at Goodwin Racing. A theme that you're gonna notice with all of these mods is I got them all off of Goodwin Racing. So if you're looking for Miata mods, check out Goodwin Racing. They have a lot of good deals on stuff, and basically for every mod they have like, they figured everything out for you, so you don't really have to worry about missing a piece or anything. So for these wheels, you do actually need a few extra pieces. So I think it's true for most aftermarket ND Miata rims. It's just the hub size is different, so you need to buy like an adapter, a hub-centric ring, to basically make sure that the hub size is matched. All of this stuff is on Goodwin Racing, and you can also find information on like basically like any thread. Just make sure you do your due diligence before you go. Look up the specs for like the PSI and like how strongly like the tire chop people need to like torque each lug nut, and you'll be fine. And make sure you get your wheels balanced too. But yeah, the install was super simple. I was at the tire shop for like an hour and they were able to do it for me. In terms of how worth it they were, I think I spent around $1,000, so it was like around between $250 and $300 per wheel, including mounting. It was like $100. I honestly think it was pretty worth. I think it's a 10 out of 10. Like every time I look back at the car, I just get so much more enjoyment, and I think they do help to eliminate that horrid wheel gap that you see. And another thing about these matte black wheels is like they actually don't look too bad, like a little dirty. Like I think like gloss wheels, it's like very obvious when they're dirty and you need to keep them very clean, but these ones, like they look good with like a little bit of character on them, you know? So yeah, something to consider. All right, yeah, so I'm pulling in to pick up my girlfriend pretty soon, so I guess I'll see you guys after I pick her up. Ooh, we got another we got an NC Miata over there. Pretty nice red color. I think my my old car was actually that same color. Pretty nice. All right, so I just picked up my girlfriend Rachel. Say hello.
Why do you have to name me?
Well, because like then you're just like my girlfriend. That's kind of weird. Probably keep talking after we get on the freeway, because this is a little bit sketchy. I'll just make a little 3 rights, makes a left. Oh yeah, by the way, she doesn't mind the stock wheels. I don't know, I think everyone I've talked to who knows a thing about cars hates how the stock wheels look. and she's like, she thinks they look fine, so she thinks I wasted my money with the new rims.
I never said that. I never said that.
But yeah, you guys can let her know in the comments if that's true.
I never said that. Just in case I didn't pick it up first.
Okay, so the next mod that you guys have probably asked me the most about is my exhaust. So yeah, you can hear it in the video right now. It's pretty loud. I got the exhaust at the same time that I got the rims. Basically, like, also off of Goodwin Racing. I really like it. I really like how it sounds, and it was really worth. I got it on sale for around like $550, and I think it's completely transformed like my enjoyment of the car. The original problem with the stock exhaust for me personally was you literally just can't hear it in the car. Like, I mean, the Miata is like pretty well insulated, the ND, but you still get a good amount of like engine noise, transmission noise, and road noise. And so with the stock exhaust, like with all that going on, you kind of just like can't really hear the stock exhaust. Oh, that was a bad downshift. Ooh. Okay, yeah, you can't hear the stock exhaust that well over all the stuff that's going on in the car. And I feel like that was just really, number one, like as a new manual driver, like I want to be able to instinctively know when to shift by listening to the revs. And because like there's not as distinctive of a sound with the exhaust, like it makes it a little harder to learn how to time the revs. So I figured, I mean, I probably could have learned with the stock exhaust, but that was like just extra justification for me to buy a new exhaust. And secondly, it sounds so much better than the stock one. I did install the exhaust myself. I didn't have a car jack or like ramps or anything like that. I kind of just got right underneath the car, and I'm not like a skinny guy by any means, and I was able to do it. So like if you guys do buy an aftermarket exhaust, like don't be afraid to install it yourself if you don't feel like you have a car jack or stands or anything like that. But yeah, the install was pretty straightforward. Like I had no idea what I was doing, so it took me like about an hour to install the exhaust. I think if you actually knew how to use the tools and you actually knew what you were doing, you could probably get it done in like 30 minutes. All you need is a ratchet with a 14mm socket, like a torque wrench for after you put on the new exhaust and you tighten the bolts, and you need like some soapy water to deal with the exhaust hangers. And if you guys have any questions about the install and the exhaust in particular, just let me know and I'll try to answer every one. It's also a 10 out of 10 purchase in my opinion. It was really worth the money, and the install was actually kind of fun. Like I felt super accomplished after I installed it, because you're like, it's not really like a mod, like, you know, like a front license plate holder. Like you're actually getting in and like undoing some bolts of something that kind of connects to the engine, so it kind of feels like you're working on the actual car itself. So you feel very accomplished once you put on the exhaust. So I highly recommend getting aftermarket exhaust and figuring out how to install it yourself. You guys have probably asked me this in the comments already, but like in terms of drone with this exhaust, I think at below 2,000 RPMs, it's pretty much the same as stock. It starts to wake up a little bit as the RPMs get a little higher, but if you're cruising on the freeway at around like 4,000 RPMs, there is a little bit of drone. It's not as bad in my RF because it's a hard top, and I think the insulation is a little bit better, but just keep that in mind when you get a new exhaust. Like I think that's just something you're bound to run into with an aftermarket exhaust. Like it's bound to drone, especially in a 4-cylinder car that has to rev a little higher at like higher speeds. I don't mind it though. Like I can still listen to my music and like have a conversation with someone. I mean, honestly, like I still do feel a little bit like a douche, because with this car, like you kind of have to rev it out to get any acceleration. Like there's no torque until you hit like 3,000 RPMs, and that's when the exhaust like wakes up. If I'm driving in an area where there's like restaurants on either side or whatever, and there's a lot of people on the sidewalk, and I'm just trying to get to a regular speed and I'm revving it to like 3,000 RPMs, I do feel a little bit like a douche. But oh shit, we just stalled. I do feel a little bit like a douche, especially after you stall and then you fucking accelerate away with your loud ass exhaust. But in my opinion, I think it's like well worth the embarrassment that you get from having a loud ass car. And another thing about the exhaust is I currently have a piece inserted into the exhaust that kind of quiets down the exhaust, so you can actually customize like how loud it is. There's like 2 pieces in total that you can install to kind of customize the sound level. Each piece that you insert into the exhaust will make it quieter, and if you just take everything out, then it's at its loudest. Since I daily this car, I decided to keep the one piece that it came within. Ooh, Toyota MR2. Ooh.
Oh, they have yellow brakes.
Oh yeah, I want yellow brakes. Wait, that's so clean. Damn.
Give them a thumbs up.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to give them a thumbs up and then stall again. I've installed in like 2 weeks. But yeah, that's the Goodwin Racing Super Street single tip exhaust. Highly, 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 highly recommend it. It increases your enjoyment with this car by like 5 times. I see they're giving me my space. It's definitely because they're also a manual. Wow. Holy shit, it's so nice. So before I got the Miata, like when you were looking for a parking spot, sometimes like since Miatas are really short, sometimes like you'd see a parking spot from a distance that would look empty, and then you would pull up to the parking spot and then you'd be like, oh fuck, it's taken because the Miata's there. And now I feel like I'm that guy that parks his Miata places, and when people like approach the parking spot, they're just like, oh shit, fuck this little Miata.
Well, I mean, there's a spot here, but they
took both spots. Oh yeah, baby, small cars only. You think this guy's gonna ding my car when he opens the door?
Oh.
Whatever, this is Los Angeles, what are you gonna do? All right, so we're gonna go shopping now. There's one more part or mod that I wanna talk about to you guys, but I'll probably be able to demonstrate how that works a little better when we get back. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we're back from shopping. What is up, YouTube? She got some t-shirts and some earrings, and I got a coffee.
No,
Hell yeah. Oh, I got a boba, but I didn't really get anything else. Gotta save money for upgrades, man. So the next mod I want to talk to you guys about, I'm gonna demonstrate to you how it works right now. So notice I am backing out of the parking spot, and I'm gonna just flick this switch one time, and the top is gonna work while I'm backing out, and I don't even have to worry about holding my hand on the switch. And now I'm realizing that the top is down and everyone can hear me talk. So I'm gonna put the top back up now while I'm driving away. That thing that you just experienced, if you are familiar with the ND RF top, you know that you have to hold that switch down normally. And if you're going above like 6 miles an hour, the top will just stop, even if you're holding the switch. Basically, this mod that I got is called the smarttop, and that basically solves that problem. It makes the top way more usable, because with the stock top operation, basically what using it amounts to is you basically need to be completely stopped, like parked on the side of the road, in order to operate the top, because you can't really do it when you're driving, because, you know, like if you're holding your finger on the switch, then you can't really shift gears. This mod just makes it like so much more usable. You can basically operate the top just with a flick of a switch, and you can be going at much higher speeds. For my car, I changed the limit from 6 miles an hour to I think 17 miles an hour. I'd probably still try to operate it at a lower speed because I'm worried about damaging the top, but it just makes it slightly more usable for like times when I'm pulling out of a parking spot or like pulling out of an intersection. I will say the installation for this is probably like the most, I wouldn't say annoying, but just the most painful 2 hours I've ever experienced of my life. Miatas are very easy to work on when it comes to like the internals and the mechanical stuff, but accessing the unit that controls the convertible top is extremely difficult. Like, it's a very small space, and it's just not easy to access. It took way longer than I anticipated. Also, the smarttop upgrade was $300, and basically all it is just, it's just this little like box that you basically plug into where the convertible top controller is. So $300 did feel a little bit expensive for what it is. I think it makes the top much more usable, so I kind of justified the price that way. Otherwise, like I drive with the top up a lot more than I should be, I feel like, especially living in LA, like a place like LA, it's so sunny here. I feel like I should be driving with the top down a lot more. I'd say in terms of like time and effort spent on this mod, I don't think it was as worth as the other mods. That's kind of why I'm mentioning it last. Like, I think it does make the top a lot more convenient to use, but it's honestly not the end of the world if you need to be stopped to operate the top. It doesn't really hinder your enjoyment of the car too much, in my opinion. So I'd say this is like a 7 out of 10 in terms of like cost and time spent, because it was a bitch to install, and the price, it's kind of expensive for what it is. If you guys are like me and you feel like the top is just designed in an extremely stupid way, then I think it's a good buy. But yeah, those 3 mods totaled with like the other mods I've spent, totaled around $2,000. The upcoming mods that I'm thinking about for the Miata are lowering springs. Ooh, oh, it's got the Kogeki rims from Goodwin Racing. Nice. where was I? Next mods are probably lowering springs. I'm pretty sure that Miata we just saw has lowering springs because the wheel gap isn't as obnoxious as my car. You can also get lowering springs for like 300 bucks from Goodwin Racing, so it's like pretty chill. The only difficult part with lowering springs obviously is you have to take the wheels off and you have to take off the suspension and take off the existing springs. So you probably need to either go to a shop, or if you have the tools to do that, like a spring compressor, then you can do that yourself. Oh, bang bang Niner gang. But yeah, lowering springs and also a seat bracket. After I drove Harrison's BMW, he's got like these Recaro seats in his car and they just feel like so nice. The seating position is so much lower, so it actually feels like you're like planted in the car. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen my other videos, but the seats in my ND are just really high and just, they don't really make you feel like you're like planted in the car. Like when you're taking a corner at speed, like you'll just feel like you're getting flung around. These ND Miatas, they have speakers in the headrest and heated seats. So if I do actually change out the whole seat, I'm just gonna have to miss out on those. So for the time being, I think a seat lowering bracket, just to kind of improve the driving position, would help a lot. Do you think I should spend more money on mods? All right, we are back. Thank you guys for coming along with us on our little shopping excursion today. Driving through LA traffic. It's always fun with friends. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of the mods that I talked about in this video, or if you want to know about like the other mods that I didn't mention in this video, like comment, let me know. I'll answer any question. Oh, let's do a quick walk out here. But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. I'm gonna be gone next week on a work trip, so I won't be posting. Stay tuned for when I'm back, because I have a lot I want to talk about when I'm back. See you guys on the next one. Peace.